and welcome. I am Amarachi Ubani. Tonight, South and Southeast governors hold follow-up meeting in Enugu, having agreed on the restructuring of Nigeria. Governors of Benue and Ebonyi states make a firm decision, agree to resolve their boundary disputes latest by November. It's been more rainfall in Lagos today, as some residents of Lekki and Victoria Garden City are forced to stay indoors. And Iraqi authorities celebrate the recapture of Mosul from the Islamic State militants. We begin tonight with the governors of the South and Southeast meeting in Enugu. The meeting, which is about now still ongoing, has in attendance the governor of Ebonyi State, Chief David Omahi, his counterpart from Enugu State, Ifeanyi Ogwuanyi, and governor of River State, Nyesom Wike. Others are the Imo State Governor, Rochas Okorocha, and the Cross River State Governor, Professor Ben Ayade. Also at the meeting is the Deputy Senate President, Ike Ekweremadu, and the President of the Ohaneze Ndigbo, John Wardo. Although the outcome of the meeting still being expected, there are very strong indications the meeting will continue its discussion on the restructuring of Nigeria and inter-regional cooperation, as well as the need for the practice of true federalism, which is what was discussed at their previous meeting also in Enugu. The governor of Delta State, Ifeanyi Okowa, and his counterpart from Bayelsa were, however, absent from the meeting. Also absent is the governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano. And from the southeast to Osun State, where a by-election has been held, the Independent National Electoral Commission declared Mr. Ademola Adeleke as winner. He defeated his closest rival from the All Progressives Congress, Mudashiru Hussein. Mr. Adeleke is the younger brother of the late senator, Mr. Isiaka Adeleke, who died in April this year.
Now, the issue of nights, if I put nights here again, $97,480.
Total vote cast 125 UDP 06.
Total valid votes 11,001.
Total vote cast 125 UDP 06.
Total valid votes 11,001. NCP. I served as the collation officer.
Everybody came out en masse to vote for me, to vote for PDP. I want to seize this opportunity to thank you all. This is a new dawn in the history of our democracy. Our democracy is growing where an incumbent can be there, and then the opposition will defeat the incumbent. Our democracy is improving. We want to make sure there's nothing like rigging anymore.
A group of young professionals from the south region of Nigeria say they support the call for the restructuring of the country. The group, the Niger Delta Young Leaders, have also dissociated themselves from the agitations for the state of Biafra. They say restructuring will ensure stability and allow for all-round socio-economic development of the regions in the country. Our correspondent Emmanuel Ire tells us more.
It is perhaps the most topical issue in national discourse in recent times. The call for restructuring has continued to reverberate across the country. And that is the focus of this meeting of Niger Delta youth leaders, professionals, activists and some political office holders in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. The convener of the meeting sets the tone.
As the convener, this is the burning issues that have made us collectively to call for this meeting. I believe in the country called Nigeria, but I don't believe in division. We have 8 local governments in Bayelsa State. Somebody have 40-something local government in one other state, and you are sharing our own resources, and you say the country does not need restructuring.
On the matters of the Niger Delta within the contexts of the Nigerian state, some believe there are issues that have lingered for a long time.
If you have gone through the Niger Delta on environmental spills like I have done, I have been to spills across the Niger Delta. The devastation of the Niger Delta is not fixable. Let us not deceive ourselves. It's not fixable within our lifetime. We must know that. If we don't know that, we won't be able to take the right decision. So any call, any promise that anybody can fix the environment of the Niger Delta is not true.
Another issue of concern is the call by the indigenous people of Biafra, which others say should not be confused with the position of the Niger Delta.
Today people are coming to shout, Biafra, Biafra. Are we Biafra? We are not Biafran people.
In the end, what does restructuring represent for the Niger Delta people?
We have collectively agreed that this country should be restructured. And what restructuring means to us as a people in the Niger Delta is 100% resource control and true federalism.
The submission here is that more than ever before, the federal government may be faced with the unavoidable task of redefining the context of national unity and building the confidence of all sections of the country. Emmanuel Ire, Channels Television News.
The governors of Benue and Ebonyi states have set November 2017 target to resolve all boundary disputes between the people of Aguila in Benue State and Mbo community in Ebonyi State. Governor Samuel Otom disclosed this during his visit to Ado local government area, where he met with the traditional rulers on plans to restore peace and attract developments in the area. Although the governor and the governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi, began the peace move during the Zero Hunger meeting, the governor of Benue State, Samuel Otom, calls on the people to embrace peace.
This crucial meeting in June was held to seek ways of ending boundary disputes between Benue and Ebonyi states. And it appears the talks of peace are being put to action with the visit of the Benue State governor to Ado local government area to meet with traditional leaders. The presence of the governor provides an opportunity for requests from residents of affected communities.
The Aguila-Mbo boundary crisis has remained a thorn in our flesh. We appeal to you to take up the matter with the National Boundary Commission to urgently demonstrate the boundary between the two states.
The governor responds with a promise.
I've also had your request. Now that there is no barrier between us in terms of parties, I want to assure you that all your demands in other local government will be met.
With this step, there's optimism that there may soon be peaceful resolution between the two states, which is far more preferred to violence.
It has been a forced homecoming for the latest batch of Bakassi returnees from Cameroon who have just been evicted by Cameroonian military forces over the refusal to pay an imposed tax levy of 100,000 naira each to guarantee their stay in the country. The returnees are now seeking shelter at a resettlement camp in Ikang, Cross River State, and want the federal government to permanently resettle them at the Day Spring Island for them to start life all over again.
These new set of Bakassi returnees, just like others, have a story to tell. They have been living like strangers in a place that used to be their home in Bakassi, all because the federal government ceded their land to Cameroon in 2008. Now, the only option they have is to seek shelter here in Ikang resettlement camp.
They don't treat them like Cameroon. They don't have right to go to police. They don't have civil right. They don't have any right to even their culture. They cannot practice. They have deprived them for so many rights. Say when the UN came like that, they will be telling them that the Cameroon government has been taking care of them. Doing all those things are lies. They force them to do all those things. Then thereafter, they will go and attack them.
They are predominantly fishermen, and counting their losses and accounting for it is a story they wish they won't have to tell for too long. They want the federal government to permanently resettle them at the Day Spring Island, where they can continue to ply their fishing trade.
We cannot remain here. This place is not good for us. We cannot remain here, and we cannot stop not to go to our fishing. We are not a farmer, we are fishermen.
Their only hope for now lies in the promise made by the Director General of the Cross River State Emergency Management Agency and the representative of the National Commission for Refugee, who have promised them speedy resettlement.
It is a case where we're ready, the government is in place to say, okay, let us see how this thing is.
There is hope for the people. There is quite hope for the people. So we are here to ascertain the situation on ground and also report back to our Federal Commissioner, Mrs. Haja Sadia Omar Farouk, so that the needful will be done.
The people are now waiting patiently, hoping that the promises become a reality. The big question now is, will those who appended signatures to the ceding of the Bakassi Peninsula to Cameroon fold their arms and watch them suffer without shelter?
Since oil was discovered in Nigeria in 1956, equipment and facilities used by oil companies have largely been imported. To change the narrative, Lee Engineering and Construction Company, an indigenous firm, has established a facility that will enhance the production of some of these equipment. Chairman of the company, Limon Ipia, invited former Nigerian President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, who initiated the local content policy that encouraged indigenous participation in the oil and gas industry, to inspect the facility located in Ekpang, Warri, Delta State.
Former President of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, arrives Osubi airstrip in Warri, Delta State, and is received by a delegation led by the chairman of Lee Engineering and Construction Company Limited, Limon Ipia. From the airport to the premises of Lee Engineering and Construction Company Limited in Ekpan, also in Warri. Inside the boardroom of the company, the chairman briefs the former president on the engineering firm's progress.
We discovered that if we decide to have our own facility here, Nigeria is going to save huge amount of money. Nigeria is going to have strong capacity to be making some of these things that we are buying abroad and doing them right here.
Oil companies that we are hoping will continue to be our partners are dwindling and in fact diminishing rather than increasing. If we don't have something like Lee Engineering, then we are done for. Our students will come out of Petroleum University and they will have no opportunity.
The former president is then conducted round the company's facility with an official showing him some of the equipment, which include 4 24-ton roof cranes, oxygen and acetylene cutting machine capable of cutting between 5 millimeters and 6 inches of steel into any shape.
This facility needs to be given job so that the facilities themselves and the people who are working here will continue to make meaningful contribution to the Nigerian economy.
With oil and gas expected to be the mainstay of the nation's economy in the foreseeable future, former President Obasanjo insists that more investment will be needed so that the local content policy he introduced in 2001 will continue to be of immense benefit to the nation.
In part 2, after the break, our special report tonight takes a look at the decay in road infrastructure and the challenge of improving the sector. Please stay with us.